Excuse me, are you comedian Eliza Butler, the one that has a joke about the apocalypse?
Yeah, why?
Do you want to explode it?
Yeah, let's go.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey everybody. Off to a awkward start. Hey, this is Bjorn RG, and this is the Joke Exploder. I have special guest Eliza Butler with me.
Hello.
Hey, what's happening? So this is a show where we explode one of a comedian's jokes, and let's get it first. Let's get into it. Where are you from?
I am a comedian in Portland, Oregon.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, it's weird, right?
Really? Oh
my
cool.
God. I had no idea.
So today you brought a joke, and
Yes.
the joke is your apocalypse joke.
My apocalypse joke. Yes.
Let's set this up for us.
Okay, so this clip is from January of 2023.
Okay.
At Bangers Comedy, which was a show in Portland.
That we did.
That we did. I didn't know if we were trying to be cool about that or not.
I recorded it.
Yeah, no, you
with
made
this
clip.
camera.
Yeah.
and
And
this laptop.
And the thing about this too, I think that one thing that is important, I think about it, is that we were just off a tour. This was recorded right after we had been on a tour together, which I think is really reflected in the performance. Like, I watched it again when you sent it to me for the first time in 18 months or whatever, and I was like, damn, I was on.
We both were. We were so loose, and just like, because we co-headlined this show that we took this clip from. Sorry, I normally wouldn't know all of these details.
Yeah, you're pointing at it like they can see.
Well, I'm gonna cut
to
it.
It's here.
It's in the computer.
It's in the computer. Oh, you're gonna cut to it. I'm sorry.
First off, before we play it, where did the idea come from?
So, I've been thinking a lot about this joke in preparation for this. I think a lot of my jokes originally come from me being really pissed off about something, but like, I am not a rant comedian. I do not have the skill at this point in time to make a rant funny.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I was just like really angry about like the state of the world. So like, I think I started writing this joke in early 2022. Right. So we're like barely out of COVID. I have this very clear memory of sitting outside. I was in my car outside the Kelly's Mic in downtown Portland. And I was thinking about this idea of like, I don't care about the apocalypse, right? Which is not that super original of a premise. Like other comedians have had that. But my first try at the joke was like, I was yelling about watching all the pandas die. Like, it was just really depressing. And I tried it a few times on stage and I couldn't make it work. And like, now I can look back and be like, I was too angry. And like, that's not my style. Like, so I put it away for, I don't know, maybe 6 months or something. And then I came back to it and I realized like, yes, this is not an original premise. What is it about the apocalypse and my personal view on it? Like, where do I find the funny in that? And then from there, it just kind of, I think this is one of those rare ones that just like downloads into your head. And it's like, oh, I've got it.
That's cool.
Like, I tweaked it over time, but like the original, like the basic structure of it, I'm like, I've got it.
Oh, wow.
Which I have had a few jokes where they just like download and I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. I wish I could do that on command. I absolutely cannot.
Yeah. And then I always find myself like, all right, let's repeat this process. And it never, it's just like.
But I do think that like letting my subconscious chew on like my anger about this. And right. And like early 2022, we're just barely out of COVID. Mm-hmm. Like, things were not looking good for humanity. And I was just like, I had a lot of big feelings about it. And so letting my subconscious chew on it for a while, I was able to come back to it and be like, oh yeah, like, why is it that I personally am not interested in participating in the apocalypse?
Yeah, I love this perspective because I can totally relate to it where like, but I kind of I took the like most dude route through it. Mm-hmm. When I mean like I'm not saying that like I feel like whenever I hear jokes, there's a lot of times, if the longer you're in comedy, you've taken a stab at a topic, and I had sort of taken a stab, but mine was like so boring. It was like, that's why I learned how to change my own oil. You know, it's like, because YouTube might not exist and I won't be able to figure this out, you know, or whatever. And it's like, Bjorn, it's fine. That's not funny.
Well, and I realized like, I'm not interested in changing my own oil.
Right.
I don't want to like have a bucket full of freeze-dried food. Just, I'm not interested. And so that's what like unlocked that for me. Because it's not an original premise. Many people have taken stabs at this.
Have you had the thought, this happens like whenever, like when I was pursuing comedy, I was like, well, this isn't like a skill that'll be great for the apocalypse. Is that a thought you've had? Yeah.
Well, and I do address that like kind of near the end of the joke.
Okay.
So we can get to like that about like, what are my skills?
Oh, okay.
You know,
sorry. That was just a thought that I had.
No, exactly.
I've had that thought where I was like, am I like working on, because when the world shut down, we're all thinking like, maybe we need to learn how to change the oil on our truck.
I mean, I'm soft. I went camping once and I was like, never again. Like I am not built for the apocalypse.
And I love that perspective so much because it's not the one that we always kind of default to like turning into low key preppers.
Exactly. Exactly.
And so
and I'm like, oh, no.
It's such a fun, I really like the approach. So we'll start playing it. It'll play,
Apocalypse. I know that I'm going to die in the.
Wait, I started it a couple seconds in.
No. So if we ever get like a real apocalypse, I know that I'm going to die in the first wave of people. So I would also say like I feel like that original, like if we ever get a real apocalypse, probably hit a little harder in 2023 than it does now, right? Or even in 2022 when I was writing this, because
like a real
apocalypse, right? And now it's like everything feels like the apocalypse.
Not just tennis on the roof and
exactly.
And singing "We Are the World" or whatever. What was the song that everybody sung together?
What are you talking about?
The celebrity song.
No, I know, but like what tennis are you talking about? Like
people were playing tennis on the roof in like Italy. Do you remember that?
Oh no, I blocked it all out.
Weird.
I remember like banging pans for healthcare workers, and they're like, "We're trying to sleep. Quit that."
I just love that. That was my takeaway from the
real
pandemic. Was people playing tennis on their roofs in Italy or like across buildings?
Yes.
Never mind.
No,
that's that wasn't a universal thing.
No, but I love that. You were on weird tennis rooftop tennis TikTok. Yeah. But I think there's also something there saying like if we ever have a real apocalypse is kind of saying we just went through something like really fucked up, but like we're okay. I feel like, which is not like something I consciously was trying to communicate, but I think as I was setting it up, I'm like, okay, we're okay.
That's a really good point. I hadn't thought about that. Has this joke been hitting less hard like in 2024 when we recorded this?
No, I think as the American political situation continues to be kind of dire, I think it still hits. I think depending on what happens in the election in November, it might not hit anymore. Like people feel really hopeful the way they didn't 2 months ago.
Yeah.
So I think that might shift the response to it.
Who knows when this comes out too? This might.
Yeah, I know. Exactly. It could be. Well, yeah. At this point, the election has not happened. So depending on how that goes.
All right.
Yeah.
We're going to keep going.
I know that. And I am fine with that. Yeah. First of all you have to do is break my glasses. Don't stop. I hit the wrong thing. There is an episode of Twilight Zone.
Okay.
Called Time Enough at Last. And it's about this dude with these thick Coke bottle glasses, and all he wants is to be able to be left alone to read.
Yeah,
you know this?
Yeah. I know the one. I didn't know the name of it or any of that stuff.
He kept that, and so then the apocalypse happened, and he's the only person left, and he kept saying, "There's time enough at last to read all that he wanted to read."
Yeah.
And I was always a very bookish kid. I saw that as a child, and that really stuck with me. Like, just have time to do nothing but read.
Yeah.
And then his glasses break. And then he's screwed for eternity. He's the only one left alive, and it was very stuck with me, obviously. And so that's what I was thinking of when I wrote that line of like, you break my glasses, I am screwed.
And isn't that just the the story of life?
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's almost like that song the one about the dad. He never makes time for the kid. Never mind. It's
Cats
dumb.
in the Cradle.
Yeah,
yes,
Cat's Cradle.
The song that makes every man sob after 3 beers. Yes.
Yeah.
I'm very aware of that song.
That came on while I was working the other day, and I sobbed, and I was like, "Oh, this hits different when you're on this side of when you're this close to 40."
Yeah.
This song hits different.
Yeah. No, it is a guaranteed man tears.
Yeah.
Every time.
I mean, my version was about my dogs, but that's
still
it still hits.
Yeah. Your dogs love.
I was like, "We're gonna go play ball. I swear. I'll play with you later."
No, you got plenty of time. So yeah, break my glasses. I'm screwed. Yeah. We're gonna have a real Velma from Scooby-Doo situation on our hands, And I just like that image. I mean, like trying to plant the kale patch, like squinting. I'm gonna fuck it up. Everyone's gonna get mad at me. So, I tried so many different vegetables.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I tried beans. I tried just so many different vegetables, and kale is the only one that ever has gotten a laugh.
What were some of the vegetables that you tried?
Like beans, carrots. I was trying to think of like what would be useful in the apocalypse. But I thought beans was funny. I think beans is a funny word. I thought planting beans and fucking it up, that's very funny to me. No one ever laughed. Never got a laugh off that. So I tried kale, and I was like, "Are you serious, Portland?"
And just Portland or other places when you
it gets a laugh in other places too. I mean, kale's kind of a funny word, and it hits harder. Kale.
Yeah.
Like it hits harder, and it's a funny image. So but it's like one of those things. It's like mysterious. Like I don't know why kale is funnier than beans, but it is.
That stuff, it's infuriating and the funnest thing ever too.
Yes.
Like
it's a game to play.
Oh, because like sometimes it's even like it's not a change of word. Sometimes it's I find it's like an enunciation.
Oh, sure.
Or like I wasn't enunciating it, or the word I did choose was like not clear. Where like kale is like people hear it every single time. Where like
maybe that's something I don't know.
Or they picture, or it's like it's fast enough. Like of a word sometimes, or it doesn't turn into a tributary. Nailed it. Big words.
You got it. You did.
It doesn't.
First time landed that plane.
Yeah, there we go.
In the tributary.
In the tributary. We just took off and we've landed in the tributary. That's a river that's like off the side, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nailing it.
It's a little baby river. It's bigger than a creek.
Yeah. I totally lost the train. I love it.
So I tried a bunch of different words, different vegetables. Kale is the only one that people laugh at. So
I also just like what I love about this joke too. This part of this joke is I picture you like because Velma would probably it wouldn't be like nice even rows. There would just be like some
exactly.
weird
Exactly.
looping.
And I do this act, and like maybe I'll cut it in. I do this act out where I'm kind of like patting.
Yeah.
Like that, which is reminiscent of Velma. Like she was always looking for her glasses that way. But so I was like kind of echoing that with, which I didn't realize until right this second, but echoing that kind of movement with.
Yeah.
And so I'm like leaning over and patting and squinting. Yeah. That's how I think you plant things, I assume. I really don't know. Not interested. Like, Eliza, why aren't your kales sprouting? I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. I also think the apocalypse has a lot of difficult physical tasks, and I am very obviously an indoor cat. You wrote that tag, I think. I get all of my...
It sounds like something I reluctantly told you.
Yeah.
I was like, is this too mean?
No. I'm like, no. You've been way meaner, I promise. You've been way meaner. It's fine. And I know that when you give me a tag, even if it's mean, it's like for the funnier.
For the good of the
the joke. Exactly. So it's fine.
For the greater good of the joke.
I'm making such a silly face right there. Food delivered, and I will scratch you if you touch me wrong.
Oh.
So, and I had forgotten about this tag.
Oh, really?
I get all my food delivered, and I'll scratch you if you touch me wrong. Like, I had forgotten about that tag, and I was like, damn, that was a good tag. I wish it had 3 things in it. Only ever had 2.
Oh, okay. That you'll scratch. I've had all my food delivered.
Yeah, I'm an indoor cat because I get all my food delivered, and I'll scratch you if you touch me wrong.
Oh, okay.
So when I saw that, I was like, I had forgotten about that tag.
Yeah.
And I like it, but I always wished, and I could never find the right 3rd thing. But I wish it was 3.
I mean, sometimes a joke only needs 2.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you do 3, it like steps on the punch of the other.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So
I'm just throwing things out there.
It's fine. But yeah, I'm like, next time I perform this joke.
So you hadn't been doing that
No,
tag?
I forgot about that tag. And then
That's
I watched this
super
video and I was like, oh shit, I love that tag.
That's one of the benefits that I've been finding from going back and watching old footage.
Yeah, but the thing is too, also it's like sometimes you can have a tag you love, and if you're forgetting it, it's for a reason.
Totally.
I mean,
trust your
that,
subconscious.
For you. Exactly. So I don't get like too hung up on like, oh my God, but I was like, oh, I did love that tag.
Yeah, and if you
that
love
was
it,
fun.
Bring it back.
Yeah.
And it is interesting how like, yeah, it's like not exciting or like why we forget it. I don't know. I never understand that.
Yeah, I don't know.
But sometimes I purposely try to do jokes just like without looking them up again and just try to do them straight up from memory. And I will sometimes dance into like something new.
Yeah.
So that's like a fun thing. All right, I'm gonna keep going.
Yeah. Don't be sad. Don't be sad. It's fine.
Portland
it
being
works.
sad.
Don't. Okay, I'm sorry. No, it drives me up a fucking wall. I hate even more than clapter, which I loathe.
Yeah.
I hate the awe. Go fuck yourself. I'm not up here for you to be sad.
Yeah.
Like one time, if I can have just a small tangent, I did a show at a sex club and I had jokes about men not being great in bed. Well, I'll leave it at that. Mm-hmm. And the audience was like sad for me and I was just like, you go fuck yourselves. Which you're all going to do as soon as I'm done. But I got infuriated.
They're going to go fuck each other.
Yeah. Which I think is like something I've experienced more in Portland than anywhere else. They're ready to be sad for you. And it's like, shut up. You're supposed to laugh. I wouldn't be up here talking about it if I was sad about it. This isn't therapy. Like, get it together. I get so angry. Like, I feel angry listening. I was angry when I was like, it's fine.
Just gets you riled up again.
Yeah. No,
it is so funny how like when I started doing comedy in Portland, I was like, oh, I have to like really tone down the self-deprecation, because if you did that, a lot of times people feel bad, or like people. I have a dumb joke where I talk about imaginary grandmother dying, and like people get upset about it.
When you're very clear, it's an imaginary grandmother from the start. It's not like a reveal that the grandmother isn't real. You're like, it's like if I had a grandma.
Yeah, maybe I'll put the joke in there.
Yeah, no, but it's, Portland audiences are so ready to be like sensitive, and it's like, stop. You're supposed to be having fun.
Right.
It's funny to imagine me as a cat who will scratch you if you touch me wrong. That's funny. I'm sorry. I think that's very funny. It's not like, oh, don't feel sorry for me or the imaginary men who are getting scratched. They probably like it.
Right.
Get it together. Fuck.
I love that.
So I think, the apocalypse has a lot of hard physical tasks. And I have never in my life felt endorphins from exercise. It's true. That's true.
Not once.
No.
We got into a heated debate around this. I was like, yeah, right.
No, it's true. I wish.
Yeah, but no.
No. I mean, I say a little like I didn't believe people. Of course I believe people, but like I was just like, I've never experienced that. I thought it was a scam by Big Peloton is what I thought. That's my favorite part of the joke.
Okay.
I think a scam by Big Peloton is so funny. Like I'm just giggling thinking about it. That's so, because part of like my persona is like, and I think I've talked to you about this before, where it's a character who is book smart, but kind of like real life dumb. Yeah. Right. And so like, and also Peloton is so new to imagine that like I just now started thinking about it. I'm like, Peloton made that up. And like Big Peloton is it's so funny to me. Like I'm giggling thinking about.
Did you ever try Big Bowflex? No. Because that's funny too.
But I think there's like a whole Gen Z cohort that probably wouldn't understand joke.
Is Bowflex even around still?
Probably.
Do you remember?
Yeah, of course of course you remember the ads. You're like,
yeah, I remember them.
I need a Bowflex. Does it come with a poster?
Does it come with a guy? Does he get to come?
Yeah, but I
for
just
easy payments, 12 easy payments of $19.99. I can have that guy. Oh, cool! In my garage.
He has to stay.
Yeah. I get it. Big Bowflex.
Yeah. But I just think scam, and also scam. A scam by
name.
Yeah. A scam by Big Peloton is just so fun to say.
It is fun. Yeah.
It's my favorite line in the whole joke.
That's so good.
It's a scam by Big Peloton.
Did you try any other brands? I guess that was my other question. It's like, it was just always Big Peloton.
Big Peloton.
Has that continued to hit as well? Because I know that Peloton really ramped up in the pandemic.
And it's like going bankrupt, I heard, or something. Like,
yeah, well, because they were like, this growth is going to last forever. And then it didn't.
It's like, yeah,
even come
like,
close.
No. Classic. No, people know what Peloton is. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's like, it's everywhere.
Yeah. Like, that sounds fake. And I started getting tattoos, and I was like, that's why those. I do have another line in there that I added later. Do you want to hear that?
Yeah.
So I say that I saw a headline that said, "Woman meets soulmate while hiking," and I was like, that's propaganda. That's never happened in human history.
Wait, woman meets man while hiking?
A soulmate while hiking.
Oh, okay.
So that's propaganda for hiking. That's never happened. So it's like more of this, like, I think exercise is a scam. And they're all lying about it. And like, you're going to meet your soulmate. No, you're not. You're not
you might get abducted.
Right. You're not going to meet your soulmate on the hiking trail.
You might meet your captor.
Right. Exactly. It's propaganda. It's not real.
That's funny.
I've added that in. And I think those two kind of like imaginary and like also kind of the character being a little out of touch. Of like, of course, people go and meet people hiking. Do you know what I mean? But I'm like, no, that's never happened in human history. That's never happened. It's all a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love that. And you're just like, but with no empirical evidence because you don't go hiking.
Well, because I don't get endorphins. Why would I go?
Why would I go? The pretty flowers? Fuck that. You can see those out of my car window.
Exactly. That's very true. We'll never stop running. All right. I get it. Love that for you, but it's people not who happening run for me. So they're going to be trying to like raise a barn or something. I don't know what you do when there's no electricity. And I'm going to be hiding in the woods.
That deserves a bigger laugh, in my opinion.
I
Raise
agree.
a barn or something is funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
I do love your version of the apocalypse is just Amish.
Yeah.
It's just we become Amish.
That is,
but with regular clothes.
Until they turn to rags.
Yeah. And then we gotta like fix our Metallica t-shirts.
We have to start learning how to mend and darn.
Yeah, all of our Zara clothes are gonna fall apart.
Exactly. Shein's just fluttering in the wind. I should add something about that in here.
Forever 21, just
forever. Thanks for
fashion.
nothing. Yeah.
Like
didn't even last a year in the apocalypse. Can't even wash it anymore. There's no washing machines.
You can't wash.
No, you get the washboard. It's just
it's gonna
microplastics.
I do love the idea too of like, I don't know why I just pictured this, like you taking like a Tide Pod and like cracking it like an egg on the washboard.
Bite it open.
You bite it open and then you're just
and it's just like microplastics. just flapping in the wind. It sucks. It's so dire.
That's so funny.
Everyone's gonna be mad at me again. I really do.
Okay.
So I think that callback to everyone being mad at me again. It's a couple of times gotten huge laughs, but a lot of times I think people are like, oh, people are gonna be mad at her. Like again, they're feeling sorry for me and they don't laugh.
Yeah.
And I just believe in that line so much I leave it in anyway.
So it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, it's not going anywhere, even though. But it's like I think it's funny to be preoccupied with everyone being mad at you during the apocalypse. That's so funny to me.
Yeah, that is funny.
Like, and it's like this thing that a lot of women are like, oh my God, everyone's mad at me. Like, it's like this kind of anxiety that a lot of women have.
Yeah.
Right. But like
so that ain't going away with an apocalypse.
No. And then I'm worried about people being pissed off. I should be worried about survival. And instead I'm like, everyone's mad.
Maybe if you put that in there.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
restate the premise a little bit.
Yeah.
That might like remind us of that.
That's a good
point.
point.
It is funny, but maybe we just like forget and you're like I should be worried about like, I don't know, getting
the
killed.
Kale patch. I should be worried about the kale patch instead. Because I say it then too. I'm going to fuck up the kale patch. Everyone's mad at me. And I understand that doesn't necessarily get a big laugh, but but there has been a couple of times when that got the biggest laugh of the whole joke, because I think that's like the heart of this whole joke is like
that everyone's going to be mad at you.
Yeah. And that I'm like worried about the wrong things in the apocalypse.
Yeah.
You know, which is like, and I talk about it being a character, but this is also very true to my experience. I'm worried about the wrong things. I should be learning how to garden and shit. I'm like, oh, everyone's going to be mad.
I like that.
I'm not going to try hard. Like, I know that. I know that about myself. I am not going to put in the effort needed to survive.
I can't relate to that because I put in way too much effort.
Yeah, you put in a lot of effort, and I'm like, let me die.
I'm gonna die in the first wave just of pure exhaustion.
Yeah, you're gonna try. I'm like, oh my god, we'll be lame.
Bjorn's gonna die doing something bold.
Yeah, like, exactly. You're like, well,
trying to be a hero.
You're like, let me skateboard down the gorge.
Yeah, I'm like trying to skateboard to save somebody. And I die valiantly.
You're trying to skateboard to save me, and I'm like, stop! I didn't want this.
What are you doing? Like, we're stuck down here. Cool. This really is our point of no return.
You'd be so mad at me.
This ain't no hero's journey. This is the end. Ain't no growth happening.
No. Apocalypse is just everyone's pissed off at me. That's what I think.
Yeah,
most of all, the apocalypse does not seem fun. Like, my favorite thing in the world to do is to lay in my bed and eat gluten-free pizza rolls I made in an air fryer while I play Candy Crush. Okay, that's true. One.
First of all,
ripped from
has not changed.
Ripped from real life. Exactly. I watch, you know this. Everything I watch on TV is in picture-in-picture on my phone while I play a dumb game.
I cannot believe that. I was editing a clip today, and you mentioned that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no one laughed at it. But I was like, it almost really bared to be repeated. Like, do you guys understand?
Yeah.
I don't watch I cannot believe that you do that. That's nuts.
No, I think no one laughs because
I hate picture-in-picture. That happens. I turn it off. I'm like, no.
I think no one laughs because it's so insane. Like, I have never met anyone who I told that to, and they're like, "Oh yeah." Everyone is like, "What are you talking about?"
Like, I can't. I can't.
Like, I've gone through, like, in the last 2 weeks, like 3 seasons of Top Chef picture-in-picture on my phone
while playing Candy Crush.
Well, no, I'm playing a different one now. But Candy Crush is good shorthand for these dumb games.
Yeah. What's the current
tag?
one?
It's called Block Blast.
Okay.
And
cool.
It's a knockoff Tetris.
Okay.
It's very sad. It's an ad after every time you lose, and it makes me so sad every time. But it's what the dopamine wants.
Yeah. The dopamine gets what the dopamine wants.
Yeah, that's the dopamine. Don't want the apocalypse.
They don't want the apocalypse.
But so, here, I'll do the next line of this, and then I'll. Yeah, I agree with you guys. That's a very cool hobby. So no one ever laughs at that because it's so insane.
Yeah.
I think it's very funny.
Yeah.
But whatever. Like, I'm seeing a lot of in this joke of like, I think that's funny and I'm leaving it. And I don't know if that's the best tack, but that's for another day and another set of me thinking about it. So I respond to it to this often like silence of like, yeah, I agree. That's great. Because it's also like bonkers. To be like, yeah, you guys are right. You're speechless because it's so cool.
Speechless because you are in
you never thought about it. And yeah, you're in the presence of a genius. I just gave you the best life hack ever.
Top Chef, picture-in-picture.
Yeah.
Does not get any better.
No, it doesn't. Eating a snack, dirtbag hours, yes. Yeah. But there are a lot of things in that sentence that are not going to be possible if the shit really hits the fan, you know? Like, best case scenario for me in the apocalypse, some traveling warlord is going to...
Have you tried breaking that down, like repeating the sentence?
Maybe. No, I haven't done that.
Slowly?
Yeah.
That might get some laughs. Be like, gluten-free.
Yeah. Pizza
rolls.
In an
air fryer.
While laying in my bed.
While laying in my bed.
And playing Candy Crush.
Like, I just love the idea of you holding on to me onto the air fryer.
Yeah.
And playing Candy Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're damn right I have an air fryer in my room.
Yeah. No. I don't
or a bed in my kitchen.
Yeah. I live in a studio.
Whatever picture is funnier to you. Yeah. I live alone. I can do what I want.
Exactly. That's true. I can. Yeah. Okay. So this is, I think you asked earlier about like, what are your skills in the apocalypse? So this is the line.
Okay.
Court jester with big naturals. Oh, maybe like.
I can roll it back.
Yeah, roll it back. Naturals.
Oops. I did not go far enough.
You know? Yeah. Okay. Like, best case scenario for me in the apocalypse, some traveling warlord is going to want a court jester with big naturals.
That's a great line.
It shocks people.
Because they're not expecting it.
They're not expecting it because I don't talk about my body a lot on stage necessarily.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think it's also a complicated sentence to say.
Yeah.
So like I think I've had to slow it down. Like, best case scenario for me in the apocalypse, a traveling warlord wants a court jester with big naturals. It's so silly.
It's great.
Yeah.
I love it. It's my favorite line of the joke.
Yeah. I think I mean, because it's a complicated sentence to say, but like it sums it up. I do feel that way. Like, that is the skill I have, is telling little jokes.
Yeah.
That's not.
I picture, whenever you say that line, I always picture Mad Max, Furiosa.
Yeah.
That guy.
Yes, that's exactly what I want.
Who I'm picturing.
Yeah, it's like just a wasteland.
Yeah.
And there's some guy and he wants, and I just, court jester with big naturals, like, I feel like it's such a very specific phrase. It's
really funny.
Yeah, thank you.
There are bells everywhere. Bells on tassels is what I'm thinking.
Yeah. So that when you asked earlier, like, what would you...
Was that the original line, or did you try anything else, or what was that?
I knew I wanted big naturals in there because I also think that's such a funny way to talk about breasts.
Yeah.
Like, it's so, like, it's, like, not super offensive, but it's kind of disrespectful.
And it's objectification, is that?
Yeah, objectification. But, like, I'm doing it to myself, and it's, like, saying, like, I know what I look like.
But it's not rude.
Yeah,
it's not like
rude,
gross,
right?
Like harsh objectification.
Exactly. It's silly.
It's like porn search term.
Exactly. So that's kind of
vernacular.
Yeah. So I didn't want to make it like too graphic or specific. It's just a funny phrase. Big naturals is funny.
Searching for that court gesture with big naturals.
That's probably. I've never Googled that. I probably should.
At court gesture with big naturals.
That's my new social media name.
And OnlyFans.
Yeah. Well, if it comes to the apocalypse and we still have electricity. Yeah. Yeah, with the like hat and the bells and the exactly.
The chest bells and hat bells.
1,000%. But yeah, that's like that's as good as I could do.
That's fun.
Yeah. I'm glad that's your favorite.
That's my favorite punchline.
Yeah. And then going the rest of my life being like, my jokes are up here. I don't want it. Yeah. That's also a tag that you gave me. My jokes are up here.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Because now I'm thinking like, my jokes are up here, not here.
Bing, bing, bing. There could be like a fun act out of like hitting the bells. Yeah, my jokes are up here. Oh my God, that's so funny. My jokes are up here. Bing, bing. That's so funny.
It's so silly.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. So if things really do fall apart and you're running somewhere with your lovely endorphins and you look down and you see me in a ditch, just leave me, please. I'd be like, that's what she would have wanted, you know? Okay. Yeah. So that's the end. Yeah. So, yeah, my apocalypse joke.
That's your apocalypse joke.
That's my apocalypse joke.
There's something I also do really love the ending. It's fucked up to say.
Yes.
I swear. Whatever. I'll cut it out.
Oh, I already did like 5 times.
Oh, cool. I guess this is a dirty podcast.
We can bleep it.
It's kind of messed up to say. I do like that part because that is just like this like. And it got a good reaction there.
Yeah.
Like, people didn't get sad because I've heard people get sad at that part.
Yeah, which, again, I'm like, shut up.
For you. You're
not supposed to be sad. It's silly.
It's silly. It's like, oh, no, that's what she would wanted. Yeah. My jokes are down here.
My jokes are down here now. In the ditch. Yeah.
What I like about it is there is just this, like, in conclusion. And then you, like, roll through, like, a little, like, short version of the joke at the end. That's kind of a fun like recap that you give, you know. I don't know if I forget, I don't remember the line exactly, but it's just like if you see me
if you're running somewhere with your endorphins, which I don't necessarily
with your endorphins, or if you're stationary biking somewhere with your endorphins, just throw a pizza roll at me.
Exactly. Just don't even use up your energy. Well, and something that's really interesting to me about this joke is that a mutual friend of ours has told me that, like, and I'm not going to say like too many details about this person, but they told me that they were really starting to get into this idea that like they have to do something, you know, because we live in Portland and everyone's always talking about the big one earthquake, and like there's this kind of like fear that like, oh my God, things really could go crazy at any moment. And this person told me that they were really starting to worry about that and like looking into like prepping stuff, and not in like a David Koresh kind of way, but like in a reasonable way.
I don't know who that is, but.
From Waco.
Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. Yep, I watched the documentary.
Yeah. So like not in like a religious or anything kind of way, but just like I should really start working more on this. It was really starting to give them a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And they said, I heard that joke and then I heard it again and then I heard it again. And then I was like, why am I worried about this?
Yeah.
And I was like, holy shit. Like that is like the biggest compliment actually that I could have had, that like it eased this person's anxiety in some way.
I can relate to that too. Yeah. Like, I mean, we joked about it on our podcast where I was like, after that, then I was thinking like, it's like, yeah, if a zombie apocalypse happens, I want to be Team Z. I don't want to be, or there's vampires. Sign me up. I want to be a vampire. I don't want to. No.
Yeah.
I don't want to like.
I'm not trying to save humanity here.
I don't care. Like, yeah, just can I just either like drink my blood and be gone,
we're done.
Or make me a vampire. Just make me. I immediately like that's
exactly.
Make me a zombie. Make me I'm not. That's why I can't watch that Walking Dead show. First episode, I'm like, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't need to live in
No,
like
it sounds like it sucks.
like I don't need to live in a broken down Kmart.
No, exactly.
It's a weird reference.
Yeah. But yeah, so I think, and I was thinking about it, and I feel like this, I'm still, it's always a process of like working to find your voice, but I think this joke is maybe not the closest, but pretty close to as far as I've come with figuring out my voice.
Yeah. Right?
Like, this is my perspective. This is like my bizarre, I mean, these are all like thoughts that I've had. Like, I really don't. This is all true. I do want, if there's like a real apocalypse, I want to die. I'm not going to fight for survival. I'm out. I want my cats to be okay, and my friends or whatever, like do what you're going to do. But like, I'm not interested in scrabbling for survival. I'm soft.
Paul and I are rolling up.
Yeah.
If
you can get over the bridge,
Toyota.
the bridge in between us, is that bridge in between us.
We're going to weld everything we own that's metal to our Toyotas.
Yeah. Well, so we'll see.
Our electric cars that we will definitely not be able to drive.
Exactly.
We'll go those 200 miles on that one charge.
And then that's where you're going to stay.
Well, yeah, I should order that. There's a thing you can get that's like a solar panel for your electric car.
Oh my God.
I should order that before the apocalypse.
Yeah, probably.
From Amazon.
Yeah, Amazon will get it here in time. But I do, this is all true. This is how I really feel about this.
Yeah.
And I liked it because it's
vulnerable too.
It's vulnerable.
All jokes aside. Yeah.
Yeah, it is. That like what I'm saying is like, I'm too soft for the apocalypse. I'm not interested. I'm lazy. I don't like endorphins. I don't exercise. Mm-hmm. Like all of this stuff that is like subtextually self-deprecating that can get a laugh in the way that the actual self-deprecating stuff maybe won't. But like, yeah, I do like to lay in my bed and eat snacks and watch TV and play a game on my phone, and that's all true, and it is vulnerable. And so it felt like a step forward in that, of being able to be like, yeah, I'm not like.
Well, there is this, even just with those TV shows and all that stuff that I was talking about, it's like there is like this weird pressure to feel like you need to. I'm excited to know who that was, because it did change me a little bit, not quite. I didn't have a bunch of anxiety about that, because like whenever I think about like prepping stuff, I'm just like, whatever. Sure. I'm good.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out when I will cross that bridge when it's not a bridge anymore.
Yeah,
or
when
whatever.
it's collapsed.
When it's collapsed, I will figure that out.
We live in Bridgetown.
Sometimes that's just a personal coping mechanism that I have to do. Is just like, well, I just got to not worry about some unknown thing, because I got enough known things to worry about.
Absolutely. Yeah.
But like, what I was going to say is so that perspective is really fresh, because I feel like with media and all these things, we are trained that it's like, no, you got to be Chris Hemsworth at the apocalypse. It's like, I haven't been the whole time, and now I am.
Yeah, it's not
like,
I'm not gonna level up in that way.
I'm not gonna just like figure that out.
No, I'm not interested.
And it's nice that you're honest and vulnerable in this. It's a fun bit. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, yeah, and it's like, again, it's not in a unique premise. What would I do in the apocalypse, right? But I wanted it to be like really honest to me and how I really feel about it. And I feel like that's how we can take these premises that are not brand new and like actually make them into something interesting.
Yeah. Like, the last thing I want to say about the joke is I love the gluten-free pizza roll part because it made me think of like, oh yeah, are people in the apocalypse going to like really care? There's like dietary restrictions.
No.
It's like you're that person.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so sorry.
Though there'd be maybe less processed food and like it might not be the same.
You're eating fucking rocks and whatever you can dig out of the Willamette that you don't want to eat.
Yeah.
I like good food.
Yeah.
Sue me, you know? So, yeah. Yeah.
So I have one last question before we get out of here. It's, what is your smallest accomplishment in comedy?
Smallest?
Yeah. So like, for example, for me, my smallest accomplishment is like an accomplishment that like you're really proud of, but like, no, it's not like a braggy thing.
Sure.
You know, it's not like, oh, I won this whatever thing or whatever. It's not like that. It's like, or like some big accolade. It's like, what's the smallest win in comedy that you've had? So like one for me is I love that I'm really proud of the open mics that I've created. It's kind of a thankless thing, but I'm really, and no one cares. There's no accolades like, yo, open mics, talk to BJ over there. You know, it's like, so that's like one of my, that would be mine.
Well, I might argue that that's not a small thing, but I get what you're trying to say. I think, and I'm not going to say any details, but I've had the opportunity a few times to connect comics with jobs that, like, spots that are really a step up.
Yeah.
And it's not something I talk about a lot. I feel weird right now even talking about it. It's something I do quietly when I can because I'm not trying to make it about me. It's like if I'm in the right place at the right time to connect somebody to an opportunity, I feel really good about that.
That's awesome.
But it's not, I don't talk about it because I'm not doing it for praise. I'm just doing it because I want more comics to have cool opportunities.
Yeah. It's very community focused and selfless, like in a very selfish industry.
Yeah, but it's a way I think to like help survive what can be a very selfish industry.
Yeah.
Because it can really easily turn into like despair. So it's like if I can do things, and like I say, I feel weird even talking about it.
I can tell. I love it.
But it's something that if I continue to have the opportunity to connect people to cool opportunities, I'm gonna do that.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Did you have anything you wanted to plug before we get out of here?
Just my social media. Eliza Isn't Funny on TikTok and Instagram. I've given up on Twitter.
X?
No, we're not even.
It's for porn now, is what I decided.
It was always for porn.
It was secretly for porn, and now we all know it is.
But yeah, on TikTok and Instagram. Oh, and YouTube Shorts, I guess. I don't know what I'm doing over there.
All right. Hey, thanks, everybody. If you like this show, please like, subscribe, follow on all the platforms. I will have the show on.
At some point.
At some point.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, yeah, this is such a fun episode.
Yeah.
This is our first episode, so we'll see. All right.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.